The LEGO Natural History Museum has received a somewhat lukewarm reception, the most common complaint being that it's just kind of short. Well, I thought so too, and that's why I rebuilt it into the tall Natural History Museum. This alternate build of the official LEGO set does not require any additional pieces, and I think it turned out absolutely amazing. I made instructions for it on Rebrickable if you're interested, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. As you can see, the main alteration I made was adding a third floor. The original set was short and wide, and just didn't stand out too well next to the other modular buildings, so I decided to make it taller. It now fits on a single base plate like most other modular buildings, and with the leftover bricks I was able to make a third floor. The museum is now at a proper height to stand out as an important landmark in your LEGO city. The two white columns still go up to the pitched roof, except now the overhang is attached to the third floor and the building continues up past it. I like how this breaks up the roof line and contributes to the tall appearance of the building. I made sure to keep the arched skylight windows on the roof by making them skinnier. They don't look down into the building anymore, so I added a little garden inside each one with some flowers that you can see through the windows. And around back, you can see where I used the rest of those windows. I created a little bump out area on the third floor as a kind of greenhouse atrium that has some flowers inside. There are some slopes above it for its roof, and I used the few inverted slopes in the set underneath to look like supports for the windows. The drain spout now comes off the corner of the window section and acts as a drain for the watered plants inside. I'm really happy with this feature, and I think it does a great job of breaking up the back of the museum so that it's not just a big flat wall anymore. Usually with alternate builds there's at least one ugly side with lots of mismatched bricks of different colors. However, I'm happy to say that every side of this MOC looks great, and I was able to keep the colors consistent all the way around the building. The only part where I could have used a few more green bricks is around these upper windows. However, I kept the surrounding bricks all dark tan to make it look like these windows had been replaced recently and just need a little paint. Perfectly fine in my opinion. This alt build keeps all of the great little details that the original set included. Out front we have the bench, mailbox, and street lamp. The museum is still flanked by the two gray statues with the flower beds behind the iron fencing. On the right side there's a modified cherry blossom tree that nicely hugs around the front column. The windows on the second floor can still hang those vinyl museum banners if you like, however I prefer how it looks without them. The window washing platform still hangs from the roof, giving the window washer access to the third floor window. Venturing inside the museum, the main entry area is the same, with the bathrooms and research area behind the front desk. The right side is a little cramped, but I was able to still fit the impressively tall dinosaur skeleton. We just have to tuck his tail around the side now so that he fits. And I switched the interior door to open inward so it's still operable. The saber-toothed tiger head and the fossilized dino poop displays also both fit in this wing. The west wing now has a removable staircase that gives access to the displays down below. There's the whip, the pottery, and the empty stand, which looks like someone knocked over an artifact with their broom handle. Making our way up to the second floor, we have the moon rock and the model rocket displays up against the railing. The map with the rocket is still up on the wall, along with the telescope, and the solar system model is in front of the big windows. I added a bench in the middle, as well as a little tree behind the curved railing on the right. You can remove the tree if you like, but I thought the area looked a little boring with two straight railings and needed another curve to help juxtapose the curve on the solar system display. On the east wall we have the three classic displays of the miniature pirate ship, Forestman's hideout, and the yellow castle, with their respective hats above them. And the dinosaur's head still pokes through the second floor, giving the minifigs a nice view down at the skeleton. This floor has another removable staircase on the left that leads up to the newly created third floor. Up here there's a curved railing around the staircase opening, and we are immediately greeted by the plants and the overhanging curved windows. I consider them just as some nice flowers, but they could also be replicas of some prehistoric plants if you wanted. Around the walls of this floor we have the displays for the volcano, the Earth's layers, the anchor, the rocks, the eggs, and the model space station. In the middle I added a couple of benches, as well as a couple of display cases. I used a couple of the spare parts to house a bone and a big tooth, but you can leave them empty if you no longer have the spare parts for the set. I only used 4 of the set's spare parts, and they're all optional like these here. And then there's a blocked off employee only area that has a ladder leading up to the rooftop. I wasn't able to incorporate the big rooftop access door, so you'll just have to pretend that the ladder leads inside the covered area and into the curator's office. He still has his desk and knickknacks inside, along with his telescope on the balcony. I think my tall Natural History Museum alt build is a great improvement to the set, and it allows it to really stand out next to LEGO's other modular buildings. Sure, it's not as wide as it was, but it now has the height that a grand museum deserves. It's actually even taller than the police station set. If you want to build this version for your LEGO city, I have instructions available on Rebrickable, so be sure to check out the link below. But definitely let me know what you think of my creation down in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.